What's the naked truth about Hamas? They're Nazis. That's not a suggestion. That's who they are. So if you're supporting the quote unquote Palestinian cause, you're supporting Hamas. And if you're supporting Hamas, you're supporting Nazis. Now, this is about name calling. I think a lot of people do this kind of a bit of in ignorance, not sure what they're doing or not clear on the concept. But Hamas, by definition and historical roots, is directly linked to the Nazis. In fact, even though Hamas emerged in 1987 during the First Intifada, they itself were an offshoot of the Palestinian Muslim Brotherhood. And the Muslim Brotherhood are the people who helped war criminal, what's this guy's name? What's his name? Hajj Amin al-Husani, the Palestinian nationalist who was also the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem in the 30s, had personal meetings with Hitler, collaborated on ideas on how to take the Holocaust in Europe and move it to the Middle East and replicate it there. So he's a horrible, horrible human being, a despicable human being. And so when I say, look, if you're supporting Hamas today and you're criticizing Israel and you think Hamas ought to somehow be in negotiations for the second or two-state solution, that's a problem. This is about calling names. It's just about talk about reality. And here's the thing. Hamas's charter is very similar to the Nazi final solution, as it were. It has different language, but the meaning is very much the same. The eradication of Jews, and furthermore, the destruction of Israel and other anti-Semitic language. So, look, unless you believe the lies of genocide in Gaza, which you might, a lot of people are, there is no genocide in Gaza. There's no genocide that's saying, oh, the Jews are out to kill as many Palestinians as possible. That's not only not true, but the opposite is true. Hamas benefits and wants a higher body count in Gaza. And here's why. With the higher body count, they're getting everything they want. They're getting global pushback and condemnation of Israel. They're getting the nations in the UN pushing for a two-state solution. Israel is losing its political support. And furthermore, Hamas is still viable. And look, this whole notion of, well, we're going to outlaw Hamas and deconstruct them and we're going to negotiate with somebody else, that's just a change of clothes. You have no idea who Hamas is a part of Hamas and who isn't. After all, 60-70% of Palestinians supported Hamas. They voted for Hamas. And yeah, Hamas has kept people from getting food and they're making them pay for the free food that's been given to them, that's been airdropped and trucked in and whoever else has been done. Yeah, they've been taxing and charging Palestinians to get that food when they let them have it. And that's, again, to elevate the body count. That's for optics. Starving Palestinians at the hands of Israelis, at the hands of the IDF, yeah, that's paying off well for them. In fact, nothing could be better for Gaza than what's going on, or rather for Hamas in Gaza, than what's going on right now. Nothing could be better for Hamas. The tide has turned. People are against Israel. People are becoming anti-Zionist. And people are saying, look, the Jews are bad people. Irony, they're labeling the Jews Nazi. They're labeling the Jews genocidal. When in fact, it's Hamas who are the modern-day Nazis. I use modern-day in the loosest of terms, but they are the Nazis, and they're the ones who are genocide. It's in their charter, and it's what they want to do and what they intend to do. And somehow, much of the world, even conservatives, like that cat Dave Smith, I don't know if he's a conservative or not, he's a comedian of some sort, but he's getting a lot of airplay lately. He's coming out, it's like, well, if you're okay with babies being starved to death, then you're for Israel. Candace Owen, we've talked about, Tucker Carlson, others come out and say, look, we can't support Israel. Well, if you don't support Israel and their right to exist, and then you're supporting Hamas by definition, Because the Palestinians voted Hamas in, and that's who they want leading them. And the very fact is that you can't even remove Hamas. Hamas is a party, it's also a spirit, and it's the spirit of the Palestinians. And that's who they are. That's who they are. And if you disagree, take a look at how they teach their kids. Take a look at what they do. Take a look at the fake lies, by definition are fake, but the faking of wounded children. And by the way, in all of this, nobody's calling for the release of the hostages. The 50 or so that are left, God knows how many are still alive. The torturing, the horrendous conditions they are in the dark tunnels below Gaza. And I don't hear anybody. I don't hear Dave Smith. I don't hear Candace Owen. I don't hear Tucker Carlson pounding the table and saying, let's release those hostages. No, we're going right to a two-state solution. So congratulations. If you're supporting Hamas, you're supporting the two-state solution. You're supporting for the division of Israel. And you can get a glimpse of what that future looks like when you see what the Palestinians did with their first separate state in Gaza. You could just expand that to the whole two-state solution, because that's what's going to happen. So if you like content like this, reality-based content, follow the channel, support the channel, subscribe, like, share, and please comment. Thanks. See you next time.